Right, there we go. Let's see how we get on. And good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. How are you all? Hopefully, I'll be live. I should be anyway. As you can see me, that means I'm away. I am. Good. Hello, everyone. As you can see me, that means. Yes, it is. Good, good. Anyway, guys, how are you all? Welcome, 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 all of you, to this particular show. We've got a great crowd. Lance Corporal is here, nice and early. And the good old WoW signal 6EQUJ5. Hello, how are you? Neil, pipes alive. Well, let's go into that. And we have here Over the Moon. Over the Moon says it's just another angle to keep YouTube hits flowing in. He just does just enough to make the hardcore fans think he's a double bluff. The sound of the gun being loaded, etc. Oh, you think that was staged as well? Folks, I never noticed that till Casper Site told me. I take it by now you all know who this guy is and what he does for a living. Yes, he's essentially been doxxed. I'm not going to. I know that Patrick from Vetted and Casper Site have been actually revealing a lot of this, or Casper Site actually showed some images from and videos from his private life, from his personal life. I will not repeat those here. You can go to the Casper Site's channel if you want to look at it. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to describe what I saw. Okay. Hello, good day. Nothing. Good day, boys. He's not Australian. Nothing as it seems. Give me ludicrous speed, please. Oh, goodness me. Would you for some downers? And One String Puppet. Yeah, now this guy's the world leading authority on this entire issue, so I'm really glad he's here. I believe James has just eaten eggs. Or are they mini little UFOs? He literally we was going live literally a couple of minutes ago. He did. He actually did say just eating eggs. He did a video called Eating Eggs. Let's just go to his channel. Here we go. Let's put his channel on. I'll get that ready. I should have had that ready up there anyway. But we'll put his channel on. You can see him behind me, actually. This is his channel now. He's got a picture of him smiling behind me. So you now know he kind of... Apparently he's got a Wikipedia page as well. But he just has a video called Eating Eggs, as you can see here, isn't it?
This year, Asda
this
has
is his
thousands
latest.
of Christmas week.
And there he is. Are they mini UFOs? I don't know. But it's all great domestic bliss, isn't it? I mean, he actually did a video called Cooking Eye Chicken a little while ago. Here it is. James Cook's Eye Chicken. Now, the thing is, always like, hey, Eye Chicken. It actually includes a lot of other stuff in it as well, so it's a bit misleading, that one. But anyway, let's go through the introductions and saying hello to everyone. Norian on Raven, hello, how are you? DJ B2, hi, good peeps, how are you? How are you doing? Plaid beats Ludicrous hands down nothing. All right. I know they've beaten Labour in Ronza, or was it Caerphilly? Anyway, yeah, no, I think people who fake paranormal or anomalous phenomenon should be imprisoned. They should certainly be punished, yeah. All right, it says here, my screen was frozen. I only just started. Did I miss much? No, I'm just doing the introductions. Hello, Red Ibex, who's not first for once. Anyway, guys, you know the routine. Let me bring up our lovely little introduction video for you to enjoy. So here we go. There we go. Give us a moment. If it'll appear. There we are. Right, mute mic.
Conspiracies, government cover-ups, Earth mysteries, monster cryptids, cyber saucers, and black triangle, up and woe. Black goo in Antarctica, lizard kings from the seventh star, men in black and Queen Boudica, up and woe. Black goo in Antarctica, Keplers from the seventh star, men in black and Queen Boudica, up and woe. Welcome to the Hop and Woe Show. when the bins went out. And so I spent so many nights thinking about the gray that might be there. But I grew strong, and now I really couldn't care. Save me from the aliens. Save me from the government. Save me from the men in black who call. Save me from the skeptics. Save me from the watchers. Justice must be done for Richard D. Hall. No more psyop whitewashes. No more left in fear. How long till disclosure comes? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Or are we always gonna wonder? Are we never gonna know? Is it just a way to control cells created oh so many years ago? Save me from the sheeple. Save me from the liars. Open up your eyes and see their false flag planned attacks. Save me from the grifters. Save me from the spiteful mutant hacks. Our fear is their power, our obedience the same. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Speak truth to power, always be the keeper of the flame.
All right, everyone. Welcome. Hello. How are you all? How are you? I hope you're unfrozen now, One String Puppet. I really, really are. But yeah, I hope your calls are pretty good. Let's go through your comments that I've just been hearing here, because I've got some good. Let's have a look here. Oh, we got loads. Thanks, great. We've got 23 people already, which is absolutely cool. English TKs. Oh, is that Tony Kenner? Is that Tony Kenner? Oh, we've got so many people here. Thank you very, very much, all of you here. Oh, blimey, I keep flicking. What's happening here? Yeah, here we go. The guy fooled us all. Oh, did he? Well, yes, he maybe he did, but maybe not the same way you think. It might be a double bluff. But anyway, hello, English TK. Benjamin does woo woo all the time. I do very little else, English TK. One String Puppet says, not really. I just found myself watching way too much of his stuff. I didn't believe it, honestly. I know, and I had kind of like I've never been certain, but I've left that open. I'm going to go into that actually because some people are accusing me of doing something different, as always. There's a nice cardie. Oh, thank you, English TK. Oh, well, Over the Moon says, we're not talking Welsh politics, Ben. All right. What do you mean by Plaid, then? Hatchy. Hello, Hatchy. How is Sorrenables there too, aren't you? I think he's here too. Anyways, Hatchy says, hello, welcome, Hatchy. Stephen Greer, boy, James in the blue jeans eating Kentucky Fried. Oh my God, Ben, I'm laughing. Bring on Bluebeam. Yeah, he's I think that could be his next outlet. He wants to continue creating content. Maybe he could become an internet chef, Sorenable, hello, how are you doing, Sorenable? Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, he's already shown us several recipes as well as some fast food he bought. Ben sometimes wears a proper cardie. I like a proper cardie. Yeah, it's pretty cold at the moment, so that's why. Yeah, it is really definitely. But anyway, how are you? Spaceballs reference. That's that a film, is it? Dion Raven. What's his face with the shitty blue face? Richard D. Hall's mate, please. Andrew Johnson. He doesn't actually wear that anymore. All right. We're not talking about Welsh politics. Plaid and Ludicrous, or Played, are two extreme power modes of some Tesla cars. Oh, really? I see. Is it Played? Oh, right. Okay. I see what you mean. Okay. All right. Let's see who else is here. One String Puppet, Rhiannon Raven. Foxy Alsatian Terrier Rescue. Hello. Rubbish song. I will go and watch another video then. Duck Egg. How'd you do? Hey, Ben. Not seen you for ages. But hello, mate. I don't recognise your name, but But it's good to see you anyway. It's good to see you. All right. The answer is the boiler man wants £179 up front before you even come and look at it. Oh, no. Have you got a boiler problem? Oh, dear. Adeline says, James does not have the face of an honest man, does he? Well, I mean, I think he will admit, I mean, he's actually saying, I'm a liar. And he says some horrible things about himself, actually. Some of it's quite disturbing. I'll go into this. Corsitus, hello. Why does everyone fall for this? Just like the little twig monster, lol. I think if it was real, then they would have been on him a while back, to be honest. Why does everyone fall for it? Yeah. Because everyone who didn't immediately dismiss it as a hoax has just totally fallen for it, haven't they? Yeah. It's always the way, isn't it? Yeah. Stop analysing chat and bring on the show. I will go at my own pace, thank you very much. Anyway, yeah, how you doing, guys? Yes, Rick Moranis is in that film. I think I know the film you mean now. Well, before we go anything, let's go through the comments on the notice, which I've now deleted. And also, I'm also going to go through the channel and posts I put up because this is all very, very delayed. I'm like 4 days behind everything. One String Puppet says, I'll try and make it. Thanks, mate, and you have. Red Ibex says, we were all taken in. Embarrassed feelings. One String Puppet says, a worrying number of people were, including myself to a degree at the start. The desire to believe is strong. It actually gives me a great insight into a number of interesting topics, including sociology, pack mentality, confirmation bias, pareidolia, psychology. I think it means psychology, the impact of social media. Oh, no doubt. Regardless of the factual nature of what we're going to talk about, definitely. Red Ibex says first. German Mad says 12 years old. And Red Ibex says to German Mad, no need to be mean. I'm an autistic 41-year-old with an IQ in the 90s. And One String Puppet says, German Mad, how has supporting a YouTuber by proclaiming yourself as the first to comment have anything to do with age? Sounds like someone has a chip on their shoulder. German Mad does. And then we have this really interesting, I put the channel post up, and which is basically, I just said, I know many of you will want me to comment on a number of subjects, including the confession of James. I will do so, but I'm just leaving for the Lapis conference, so I'll have to wait till I get home. I return Monday evening. There you go. As soon as I got home yesterday evening, I put up this notice to do this show. Wow Signal, well, nice one, Ben. Brighton Amazing says, looking forward to your views on this, Ben. Hope the conference is informative and fun. Paul Wills says, have a good conference, Ben. Looking forward to the reportage. And Serastium said, enjoy your conference. You've earned it, as they are too few and far between. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, and Neil Peel, the Paranormal Peep Show, says, a confession. Tell us more. Oh, I'm going to. And Wow Signal says, have a great time at Lapis. And then Arts Channel has said something quite funny. He says he's got a new name for the pipe. He calls it a metallic cucumber, which I suppose is which I suppose makes sense, doesn't it? Oh, we got here Neil Peel. Hi, Neil. Ben, my friend Justin heard your voice just now, and he says your voice sounds like the comedian Stuart Lee. Look him up, perhaps. All right. I'm sure I could do impressions of him. Yeah. Anyway. DJ B2. The next general election, can the UK survive until then? Depends if the aliens don't get us. It depends if they don't get us. Anyway, yeah, I mean, you're all aware of what this is about. I mean, I do urge you to look at the background videos. I've done 2 videos on this already, which you can find the links in the description box to the last one, and from there you can find the first one I did. Now, basically, this guy James, who was anonymous at the time, claimed to have found a strange artifact, which you can see in his banner. It's a cylindrical object, which he claims to have found in the desert near Las Vegas, USA, which he then took home with him. I did a number of experiments. Now, since then, in fact, last Tuesday, he announced suddenly, out of the blue, that the whole thing was a hoax. He uploaded this video, which I'll show you now. Got to thank a friend of mine, actually, for downloading these. Much appreciated. I think, was it this one?
Hey guys, it's Jimmy here.
He's Jimmy now, is he? All right. Oh, by the way, before I go any further, I've got to put this up. I've just had a bitchy email from someone actually threatening to sue me over copyright. I'm going to make sure. I mean, everything I do is under fair use guidelines. There we go. I'll just flash that up for you there. Not flash it up too much. There we go. All right.
Hope you enjoyed the latest film we made. It's kind of like Blair Witch Project stuff, found footage, but we did have to end it because
make a note of how he says
people
we
on Reddit like to.
All right. He makes a note of how he says we a lot, but then later on he'll deny there's more than one person. You'll hear it.
To be sleuths online, which is good, but like showing up to people's workplaces can get a little sketchy. So with law enforcement being involved in all of this,
you'll find he was actually raided by the police, and apparently he's been doxxed. People know who he is, and indeed, as I say, I'm going to explain that. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on some of the things that people found out without actually. I'm not going to show you the items, but he has been doxxed.
Have to end it and come clean with you guys, but yes, it was all a hoax, completely a hoax from the start. I got 20,000 people to believe me, possibly more.
No, that's the number of people that's the number of viewers you had. A lot of them didn't believe you.
A bunch of YouTubes make a channel on me, which I think will go down in history.
Yeah, I did.
As something pretty funny, which is what I enjoy doing, making people laugh. But sorry for having the internet scared for those few days of me potentially dying. But it didn't happen. I wasn't dead. A lot of people thought, they just came to the conclusion that I died, but
I was worried about that, yeah.
That's their problem, I guess.
I'm touched by your concern, man. But funny enough, he does apologise. I may not show you the point, because I will tell you what he says, because I won't show you every single thing. But he does later said he does apologise to the people who were really concerned about his welfare.
To entertain you for those few days, for the few months that we've been going on with this stuff. But yes, I did in fact make that thing. Yeah, it's been fun. I wish I could have kept going longer, but I can't, because for obvious reasons. But yeah. I guess that's about it. I'll keep it short and sweet for you guys like usual. And maybe in the future we will do something else to entertain you. It might not be through the same channel, but just know that if
cooking eggs.
there's a potential hoax going around, it might be me. I will see you guys later.
Okay, that was his first hoax. That was his first. That was his first kind of mea culpa video. He's done others since then. He's done others since then, definitely. Okay. I can't read out all your comments. I've got like 28 viewers. I've got more than that actually, but that's what YouTube are giving me, and they always downplay my actual viewers. But Rhiannon says, "What if James has been forced to pretend he made it up because the aliens have threatened to stick the pipe where the sun don't shine if he doesn't?" You're halfway there, Rhiannon. I would say not the aliens, but it's the government. One String Puppet says the next conspiracy now is that people don't think it's James, or they think it was real, and the CIA are now making him fake an apology and admission. Right. Well, believe it or not, One String Puppet, I'm seriously considering the last bit. Now I know that is James. I'm not going to pretend that's not him. He's got a very unusual voice, and yeah. And so I am actually going to. I do wonder about the latter, though. I'm definitely going to wonder about the latter. Okay, so before we go any further, let's look at exactly what is meant by a confession, what it actually means. Now, Rhiannon will tell you there's a very interesting Twitter called the Fess Hole, and it's Fess is short for confession, where you confess things. But the let's just have a look here. The definition of a confession. Let's look at the nature of what a confession is. Just 1 second here. Olearon says the engraving could have been added by James under duress by the government, so people will think it's fake. Well, the engravings were there where I don't know. That could be a part of it. I don't know. Let's have a look. English tea cases. In fact, it was a bit poo. See the engravings. Now, I should point out about his style. I mean, it's pretty clear that he's not actually. I thought he was older when I heard his voice because he sounds like an older guy and his legs look older when he showed his rash. I thought he looks like an older guy, but he's actually quite young. And his style shows that he's not experienced with social media. So I'm guessing he hasn't actually created content before. That's an interesting thing. What he does, he goes to work, and apparently, I mean, I won't say he's got several jobs. Someone thought he might be a plumber because he'd have the necessary skills. He'd also be able to get hold of the raw material like the pipe and things like that. But anyway, let's look at the nature of a confession. A confession is an admission of fault, crime, or secret made out of guilt or desire for forgiveness. It can be a formal statement, such as one made to the police, or a religious act in which a person confesses sins to a priest or deity to receive absolution. The term also refers to a formal statement of religious belief known as a creed. Right, so that's what it actually means. So now people will call what he says a confession. Hello, Nihilist Lives Matter. How are you? Hope you're doing all right. One String Puppet. I think he's doing a psyop on himself. This could be some kind of psyop going on. One String said he also did a live stream or video where he showed the tube, but it was clearly not the same tube. Yeah, I think he's done this on purpose, made another one, pretended it's real, knowing people will notice. It's possible he's doing this out of mischief, One String Puppet, or this is something that he's done or been made to do, or someone has done it for him. Because we'll come on to that, actually. We're going to come on to that. Because they've taken the real one away. Hello, Arch Channel. How are you? Are you all right? Confessions of a Window Cleaner. That was a good film. That was a cool film. But anyway, so what James, do you remember my skeptic talk where I talk about where I mention the CTCS, the conveniently told confession story. CTCS. I won't show it you now, but anyway, you can go and look it up on this portal here. There's various ways you can look at it here. Now, I recommend the Swansea one. That was a particularly good one. Stick this one in 2022 at Sufon. I did a really good one at Sufon. That's when I first met Rhiannon and Michael, actually. Yeah, that was that one. But basically, I'd done one at Dorset as well. But basically, it's when someone comes and says, "Okay, I confess." We have a confession. So a good example would be the Fox sisters, the people who supposedly invented spiritualism. They later confessed that they had done this. They made it all up. So the entire spiritual, everything that spiritualism, all the spiritualist churches, was based on a fraud, according to the skeptics. I mean, I don't know if I can show it actually, but Darren Brown has this thing called. He has. I think I can try and. Hopefully, I won't get a bloody copyright strike for this. I'm paranoid about copyright now, not least because I've just had a nasty letter from someone threatening to sue me. I won't say anything about that now, but I'll say more later. Here we are. There's this thing called Seance. Right, I don't know if it's on YouTube still. Yeah, here it is. It's okay. Here it is.
AWS powers F1 Insights to bring fans closer to the race, closer to the raw speed, closer to edge-of-the-seat decisions. Get closer to F1 with real-time data and insights powered by AWS.
He says at one point.
Our youngest asked me,
"Sorry, I'm
why
not going to
don't
wait
you
for
want
these
to play
ads.
with
Sorry, I'm
me
not going to
anymore?"
wait for these ads." You can go and look it up for yourself. But at one point, he just says he gives a brief history of spiritualism, and he said, he says 40 years after it started in 1888, the Fox sisters, now mature women, confessed. They said they made the whole thing up. The experiences they had and the practices they were up to, which basically spawned the spiritualist movement, was just fake, and they made it up. So we have a confession. Many other examples as well. Bob Gimlin apparently phoned up Chris Packham, the guy on TV doing the nature programs, and said that it was all fake. The Bigfoot, Patty, that was Gimlin's wife wearing a big furry suit. That's why it looks a bit feminine, because basically it's his wife. It's only when Paul Vella went there with some LiDAR and did like a survey, and it said, "This is the point, you see," because Paul Vella went there with a LiDAR and a camera. He knows where the camera was. He knows where the machine is. He did some analysis of the scene, and he worked out that creature was 6 foot 7 feet tall. Is Bob Giblin's wife really that big? If so, I hope he doesn't whinge at her if she burns the toast. But so what my point is that a confession is a claim to. A confession, you see, even though despite my literal definition of a confession, only woo-woos can confess. Skeptics can't. Who remembers this? Here we go. Hang on. I'll see if I can find this. I'll see if I can find this. Hang on. Now, who remembers this? Governor Fife Symington of Arizona. Here he is.
The pot.
And he went to humorous and controversial lengths not to stir the pot. He held a news conference after the Phoenix Lights.
The Phoenix Lights was a massive mass UFO sighting over the city of Phoenix. And the governor of Arizona, Fife Symington, came to do a press conference to tell you what really happened.
To announce the mystery had been solved.
And now I'll ask Officer Stein and his colleagues to escort the accused into the room so that we may all look upon the guilty party. Don't get him too close to me, please.
In the alien costume, the governor's chief of staff.
Now, this just goes to show that you guys are entirely too serious.
UFO enthusiasts were not amused, especially since the governor was believed to have seen nothing. But now he's coming out.
Right, yeah, they cut it off at the next bit, okay? But Fife Symington basically then said, no, that's not true. I staged that. I lied. Because I saw them myself. There was real UFOs, but there was a big UFO flew over Phoenix that night. But I decided to pretend it was all crap, and I make a big joke out of it to prevent public panic. Now the word confession has never been applied to Governor Symington. Never. This means that a confession can only go in one direction. It can go from the woo side to the skeptic, never in the reverse. You see, this is why people are reluctant to doubt James's confession, because he's essentially doing the same thing. He's doing what Governor Symington was doing. If what I suspect is true, right, which is that he's essentially making a fake confession. Because you see, a confession is a claim too. A confession is a claim, but skeptics never treat it as a claim. The moment someone confesses something, they go, "That's it, case closed. We have a confession. It's over. It's over. Stop what you're doing right now. We will not look at it again. We will not listen to it again, and we will not think about it ever again." We have confession, and a confession can never be falsified. A confession is always true, and we don't even need to examine it because we just know it's true. But it's not. It's just telling the skeptic what they want to hear. This is essentially what Darren Brown said in Seance. He said, once this confession had been made, that was it. He just accepts it without question. But a confession is a claim too. Confessions can be falsified. I give other examples, the examples of Alex Malarkey, the boy who wrote this book and then later retracted it. He retracted it because a lot of aggravation he was having in his personal life. This is why I think the Fox sisters also faked their confession too. Funnily enough, I was trying to discuss this, right? One String Puppet. Yeah, we're going to come on to that. Yeah, because we know that he is a metal worker. He does know how to work metal. He has his own website where he makes custom-made, swords and daggers and things. There's a photo of him holding with loads of weapons stuck in a tree behind him. Yeah, it's just swords, daggers, and things like that. Yes. I'm not going to show it to you. Other YouTubers have. I'm not going to show that to you. I'm not going to contribute to publicity that he might receive, which could put him in danger, quite frankly. But other people have. But the point is that no one ever, people don't treat confessions like they do every other claim. It's almost like a refutation of a claim rather than the claim itself, which is wrong. It's wrong. And of course we got this situation where the backslappers are basically circle jerking over this. They're having a mass orgy over this whole business because they'll say things like, I don't include you in this One String Puppet, okay, but it's not you, but it's lots of the others. They're going things like, they're saying things like, well, I called it, man. I called it from the beginning. It's a hoax, and I said it was a hoax from the beginning, man, and I knew it was a hoax because I'm so superior to everyone else because I'm a backslapper. Yes, I was, and everyone else was gullible, but I wasn't, man. So we've had so much of that. There's been so much vainglory from the backslappers over this. A huge amount of vainglory. And the problem with that is then you get the polarization. This is the problem. With that vainglory, inevitably comes polarization. So what the backslappers will say, what they essentially are saying right now, and they've been saying this to me, is, Ben, you see, I knew from the start that it was a hoax. I knew it. I just knew the moment I saw it, within 10 seconds of seeing it. I knew it was fake, man. I knew it was fake because I'm so superior. And you're so inferior. And you're naive. All right. But the thing is, firstly, the backslappers did not call it from the beginning. The backslappers guessed. They guessed and they happened to guess right. But then they say, all right, One String Puppet says, that's the difference. I have humility and zero ego to worry about, lol. Well, no, I hope you don't have zero ego, One String Puppet. If you have zero ego, then you're just like my dad, basically. You've just become like a water that can fit into any container. I don't believe you have no ego at all. I certainly don't. But you're not. I don't think you're a backslapper because you have been honest about this. You yourself have been on, even though you've kind of been proved right. You've been honest about. You have been rational about this. The backslappers are not rational. The backslappers just immediately denounced this without a second thought. They said it was fake. They knew it was fake from the moment. Within 10 seconds of watching James's first video, they said, it's fake, man. I've called it. I've called it out, man. And everyone who doesn't believe me is inferior. And everyone who believes this it's not just believe it. This is the problem. This is where you get into polarization. Because you know what these backslappers are going to say? And someone's going to say this in the chat box. I'm just waiting for them to say it in the chat box, all right? So someone may have already done it. I'm going to scroll up and have a look. But someone, I bet, has already... English TK, I thought it was fake from the beginning. Well, the thing is, it's a difference between thinking it's fake and guessing it's fake. But the question is, right, someone is going to say in chat right now, Ben, you've been proved wrong. Because, Ben, you were 100% sure that it was an alien, weren't you? You were 100% sure. No, I know, I'm not talking about you. One string puppet, I'm not referring to you. It's all right. You're not a backslapper. But the backslapper is just saying, Ben knew the moment Ben saw James's video and he started watching them, he became a wide-eyed believer who was 100% sure that it was real. And he made videos saying that he was so certain it was aliens, and he used to get angry with the idea that anyone would disbelieve James. Now, what's that? Is that a fair representation of my position? And the answer is no, of course not. Because as any honest person who watched my review and assessment of this particular case will know that's not what I said. I did not say I was 100% sure it was aliens. I thought it might be. But in the same way that one-string puppets that kept room open for aliens, I kept room open for fakes. I always knew that what James has claimed might be real, and I still claim that it might be real. Maybe he did fake it. But there's no nuance in this. This is what I mean by polarization. The backslappers don't have any concept of nuance. It's you either join them in their. You either join them around their little campfire of pompous Olympian greatness, where everything's a fake and everyone's a shill and everyone's worthless and there's no real truthers except them. You either do that, or you're a wide-eyed believer who just accepts everything and you think it was an Andromedan probe and all this sort of crap. See, this is what I mean. This is what backslappers have done. I mean, I fell out with Richard D. Hall because he just swore at me once. He called me a servant of the mainstream media. He called me that because I disagreed with him on something. So there's the thing is, these hoaxes have two major issues. Now, one of them you'll be familiar with, which is, of course, it's the cry wolf factor. These hoaxes muddy the water and they discredit the genuine things that we do in the same way that when you have a ghost hunting program and you start putting fake evidence into it, then it discredits anything. It discredits genuine ghost hunting. It discredits the genuine phenomenon, right? It does. But there's another problem with it. And the other problem is, let me just review my notes here. That that people are going to be afraid of embarrassment because they will be afraid of the peer pressure that comes. They'll be told that basically you have instantly to dismiss everything, absolutely everything, as a hoax. You have to basically go full Richard T. Hall and just say everything is a hoax. Everything is a hoax and everyone is a shill except Andrew Johnson. And a lot of people don't like. A lot of people are frightened of that. They are scared of that. They don't like that kind of embarrassment, and they don't like. They want to be part of the in crowd. They want to be able to piss with the big boys, and so they'll start behaving like that. Just in the same way that kids at school will try to act like the tough guys, the tough kids in the class. So that's the other bad side of backslapping, and that has an equally bad effect on genuine research. That's what the problem is there. Now, funnily enough, there's the gun being cocked, which is interesting. Someone mentioned the sound of a gun being cocked, but there's also apparently a voice in one of the videos. Mr. Carr said on one of these videos that you hear someone says you're dead now at the 5-second mark. What's that? Which video is that? Let's just have a look. It's one of these videos. And you see, look, here's Over the Moon. Right, as my prediction has come true here, Over the Moon. 45 minutes of excuses as to why he got his pants pulled down. There you go, you see. One string Over the Moon. Ben was 100% sure it was aliens. See, one string Over the Moon's doing exactly that. One String Puppet says, he says, yeah, I like skeptics, though. They help keep opinions level and far from spiraling out of control. Well, they should do ideally, but the problem is they very, very often don't. They have their own beliefs that spiral out of control. Definitely. Nothing that seems fiction, the perfect medium to emulate what appears to be reality, hence the Roswell trilogy. Oh, well, I mean, it is, indeed. I'm glad you like that, Nothing As It Seems. But yeah, definitely. But anyway, we will go. DJ Beaty's got the right idea here. DJ, not many people are brave enough. Not many people want to do that. Not many people can resist peer pressure. It was Seneca, a Roman philosopher or Roman statesman, who said that most men would rather face an army than the scorn of their peers. And some people are scared of the backslappers because the backslappers are so damn belligerent and aggressive. So anyway, where was that? Where was the video? I think it was one of these ones. Hang on, let me just show. You can see what I'm doing here. I think it was this one. Now, funnily enough, he deleted this and then uploaded it again.
Leaks can be scary, but fixing them isn't. With Gorilla Waterproof Wrap and Seal.
Oh, Mr. Carr, this is him. Yeah, I said here.
Discover Barclays experience.
Oh, shut up. I said here he may be threatened and forced to make this. And I mentioned something that One String Puppet has, and he, as you know, he's a skeptic here. Also, the metal of the cylinder section was shinier. This time, it's very burnished. Is it the same object? Yeah. And he says in the last interview video posted, you can hear a voice which sounds like his "You're dead now" at the 5-second mark. That I assume refers to the Abbey Paranormal people, the crazy travelers or whatever they're called. This one, I assume he means. I hear something. It doesn't say you're dead now. I can't hear it myself personally, but could you hear that? Over the Moon says, look back at your videos. He took you in. It's obvious by the things you were saying. All right, well, misquote. Why don't you do a bit more misquoting, Over the Moon? Why don't you just tell me? When did I ever tell you I was 100% sure it was aliens? Did I say that? Because you're going to think, you see, this is what I mean. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You are doing exactly what I've just been talking about. No nuance. No, nothing, no rationality. Everything is polarized. You either just reject it immediately, or you are a wide-eyed believer who is inferior to me. That's all you backstabbers do. And this is a hindrance on research. Oh, anyway, I can't hear it myself. Now, apparently, Reddit has doxed him, and I'm not going to show you their stuff, but Reddit has said basically that Reddit claims that there's indeed they've published a few addresses. Not all of them are his, and apparently some people with nothing to do with this have had knocks on their doors. I think it's maybe one of the reasons the police have got involved, because they've been calling the police too. I think if this was indeed a hoax, you could say this is a motive of why he tried to hoax it. Indeed, as Patrick from Vetted said, if he's really pretending to die on YouTube, you're not allowed to do that. That goes against terms of service. Yeah. One String Puppet says, I'm only a skeptic with James, though, not UFOs in general or legacy government cover-ups. I know, mate. Yeah, we've been talking privately about that, and I know you're not. Yeah, I know you're not. Indeed, Patrick's not. You've doxed him by your own background. No, this is his channel. That's his channel. It's the same one. I mean, it's not quite the same because I've got it on dark mode, but it's his channel. Look. He's not doxing him. Look. There we are. It's his channel. Don't let people wind you up. It's not worth the energy. I mean, I know I shouldn't. I shouldn't. But that is kind of like where are we now? Okay. Apparently, there was no video of the pipe in the air. He threw it up in the air. I mean, some claim they'd saw it. I didn't. Now, he tries to provide. He does a little phone conversation with this guy who actually came to see him. It's this one here. Where is it? It's this one here. Well, you can see it's this one in James's live. It's the 33. Unfortunately, all his videos tend to have the same titles.
Hit like a pro.
But it's 33.
Never quit like a.
On my phone that I just played next to
20
it.
minutes. It's 32:20 long. So you can see what it is. But anyway, in this video, he says that he was. He says. One second. He says a number of things. He was doxed by Reddit. Redditors actually found out that he is a metal worker. He has the skills necessary to make something like that. He also said there's no video of the pipe in the sky. What he calls the pipe. Arch Channel calls it the metallic cucumber. I call it the pipe. He calls it the object artifact tube. Now this is interesting because you remember the scene where the lights were flickering when he went close to it. He said, "Oh, that's just." I said, "Did you have someone else in the background like flicking the switch?" And he says, "No. It was just pure luck. The lights do sometimes flicker down there, and they happen to flicker at just the right moment." Now, do you buy that? Do you believe that? I find that doubtful, especially since there's no other occasion in any of the live streams, and he does very long ones in that basement, where the lights flicker like that. And someone said, "What about the radio? When you bring the radio close to it and it starts hissing, how did you do that?" And he had to think for a moment. He said something very strange. "I think I used a motor and turned it off and on. I think I used a motor and turned it off and on." Doesn't he know? Didn't he work? He must have worked out some methodology. Doesn't he remember? Doesn't he remember how he did it? Anyway, then when his correspondent asked him about the Geiger counter and how he got those results, he said something incredible. He said he bought some uranium off Amazon. He bought some uranium off Amazon. I just went on Amazon. I searched uranium. I was tempted to try that myself. I stopped myself because oh, because if you go on Amazon and start searching for uranium, you can bet the cops will call. I mean, they a one-string puppet says here, he strapped a motor with some magnetic device or something. He explains it all on another interview. Oh, right. Which one's that? Because, I mean, he seemed very uncertain when he was talking to that guy. "Oh, I think I switched a motor on or something." He seems a bit vague. And he contradicts himself on other occasions, actually. He contradicts himself quite a lot. But basically, if you go searching for uranium off Amazon, that's a reason, maybe one of the reasons the cops called. I'm not even going to try doing that, by the way. If I try to do that, I'll get a knock on the door from them too. Now he got this idea from the Boogosphere. He was actually away just at work, and he managed to catch one of Greer or Jaime Maussan's videos about the Boogosphere, and he got the idea of making one himself because he does have the skills, it seems. And he said his plan was originally to sell it. He claimed he'd got a buyer for $1 million, and then he changed his story. There apparently is a fake version of it going around on eBay. Okay, there is a fake version of the pipe or the tube, or whatever you want to call it, the metallic cucumber, whatever you want to call it. There's a fake version of that going around on. Just to warn you, going around on eBay. It's not real. There's the guy selling it pretending to be a friend of James. He's not. James, interesting. There's a video of James. I should point out there's photographs of James in his metalworking for his metalwork, and there's also I should point out there's a video of him. It's basically like it's like a recruitment video because he says he wants to work in finance and he likes working with people and he likes closing deals and things like that. Casper Site actually did show it. I'm not going to show you that video, but Casper Site does. All right, he does a second interview with another YouTube channel. Is that Polarity? Has he been on Polarity yet, One String Puppet? I know he was planning on going on the Polarity channel. I know he went on the what are they called? I forgot what they're called now. Oh, the Traveling Fools. That's it. This one. Here we are. Abby Normal, live with James UAP host. This is his interview on this particular channel here. I actually say here, look, it's reasonable to question James's confession. A confession is a claim true, but it's never treated as one. As soon as one happens, skeptics accept it without question and yell, case closed, stop looking at it. Confessions can be falsified and have been. Bob Lynn, the Fox sisters, Fife Symington, etc. So I gave you those examples there. Definitely. The boobosphere. Although, yeah, there's all kinds of puns associated with that, I'll tell you. Oh, there really is. I'll tell you that. It's the right wow signal. There really is. Yes, that's where he got the idea from. Now, he says he made it himself. he got hold of a pipe and he welded some caps into the place. He used a combination of welding and glue to fix the caps onto the pipe that's the barrel of the object. And he used an angle grinder for the markings. Now, you may be wondering how much it costs. I mean, he did there's the ET, what's it called? I think they're called ET Confidential, the channel. They were asking, like, how much did this cost? It must have been quite expensive. Now, he claims he got it off a scrap heap at a Mormon camp in Utah. He went to this Mormon colony full of off-grid people. They generate their own electricity. They get water from wells, everything. Everything is completely and utterly off-grid. And he reckons he got it from them for nothing. He found it. He believes that it's actually, he thinks that the barrel was originally basically part of an exhaust pipe for a lorry. That's what he claims. And he says the reason the barrel is magnetic and is not magnetic and the caps are is that the barrel is stainless steel and regular steel on the caps. Now, he says he says he did research into the symbols on the caps. Then later on, he claims they're just random. Now, when he shows at one point, he shows the pipe. I'll show you this in this particular video. He shows the pipe because people were asking him where it was, and he was claiming, "Oh, hello, Davis Blends Isolation. How are you? Welcome. Glad you're here." In one of the videos, he shows the pipe itself. This one here, which I've just is this one.
Want to know how I write code that changes everything?
Okay, do you see how he's inexperienced? He tends to leave it playing for one, then he appears here. I don't think he's created social media before.
All right, guys. I see you've all been waiting for the live today. It's going to be the biggest reveal yet.
Yeah. Now, he previously claimed that he didn't have it anymore. Now he says he does have it. This is another contradiction. People are asking about, well, where can we see it then? Can we see the thing? And he says, I don't have it anymore. I threw it away. Then he says his parents have got it. Then he made several different stories. I believe possibly the original has gone. Now, depending on what it was, is the point. It could, if it's a genuine ET artifact, presumably the CIA have taken it and they've made him create this facsimile, or they've created this facsimile or replacement for him.
I have right here. So now you can see I still have it.
Is it a little bit bigger than the original? I don't know. I can't see the measurements. One thing's obvious though, that the barrel is different consistency. It's burnished. It's not shiny. It's not as shiny as the original. It's very much it's burnished metal.
I'll just answer any questions you guys have, just trying to make sure that all of you know that this was completely fake the whole time.
Who are you trying to persuade, Jane? Are you trying to persuade us or yourself?
See the end of the tube? Yeah. Here's the end of it.
I bet people will buy this. Someone will buy it.
Self-fake this whole time, don't worry. Any other questions you guys have? I'll also show the light again for you who didn't see it yesterday. This is the flashlight we used for the light. Yeah. As you can see, that's
he claims it's stuck in the magnets to the frame.
Yeah, if I get it. Oh yeah, right there.
Okay, you've seen enough of that. But there's in another video he claims it was stuck. This is what he did with the magnets. He has a magnet at the back of it. Where is it? And this is how he attached it to a frame, and that's how he did
Hey man, welcome to Ninja Alex.
An orb. Now, funny enough, I didn't actually think it was an orb. I thought it actually was just a light. I did think it was just a light. He kind of recreates it here. Funny enough, there's no drill mark on the object either. There's no drill mark. And when he he contradicts himself, because the mark where he obviously collapsed soon after he started drilling, but there may have been some kind of mark on the actual metal. And he says, "Oh no, there's nothing there. I didn't actually touch it at all." But then he says, then he says something else. He said, I deliberately dulled the bit so it wouldn't make a mark. So, I mean, why? Why did he change his story? Lance says, it doesn't, where is it? It doesn't matter. It's a piece of metal and some... Does it matter? It's a piece of metal and some fool. Well, it's a piece of metal, but who's the fool? I'm about 12 minutes behind, Ben, but you need an ad blocker. Oh no! If I had an ad, if I do that, they're just going to put more ads on there. But this is what he does. Now, apparently, there's a reason why there are numbers. It's funny. He says some weird things, like he's trying to wind us up. There's a reason why there's these numbers up the wall. There's a reason there's these spikes through the ceiling.
Notice the placement of the bricks here.
And he says there's some kind of code there. He won't tell us why. He's trying to be mysterious.
Numbers go down slightly angled to 9. Then we also have this thing on the wall here. And another one there.
I don't know why he's telling us all this. Are we supposed to sit here and wonder what he means?
Got numbers on this side too, following the same pattern.
Is there a reason why he's telling us this? Looks like a basement to me.
Also, you got some stuff up there.
He's put spikes.
You want to pay really big attention to that, and that stuff right there too. You see where the light is pointed. There's one right there. Also, you see that misplaced piece of lumber.
There we go.
Where's some more chicken? I completely debunked this. I know you guys are sure of that now. Just the light being placed right there. Perfect.
He claims that's. He claims. Oh, you didn't see that. Sorry, you didn't see it. There we go.
Need some more chicken. We're here. Who knows?
Look, he's saying there's something strange. That's just a coal scuttle. That.
Some of you are not convinced yet. So
these numbers here.
These numbers.
Apparently.
Let's take a hard look. You're gonna want to record these. Everybody, this was a hoax, but some of you are not convinced.
Yeah, there's that little orange hatch is a coal scuttle. He's got like spikes through the ceiling. I don't know why there's anything real. And there's dead ladybirds all over the floor as well.
There's going to be diehard people out there who are not convinced, and those are the real ones. Some things are not meant to be solved. But anyway, another thing you got to pay attention to is that up there.
Why is he doing that?
Okay.
Why do we have to pay attention to that? What does it mean?
See that?
I think he's messing with our heads here. I think this is just kind of like a red herring to get us wondering. Psychologists do this sort of thing.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
And here's the light.
Just the light being placed right there.
That's how he got the blue light. Now, I didn't actually think the blue light was an orb of any kind. I just thought the blue light was just. I thought it was exactly what you see there, which is a light to illuminate the. It's a light to illuminate the basement while he was working. That's what I thought it was. There you go. Lance Corporal, you mentioned buying radium off eBay. There's an Oxford YouTuber who has knocks from the police because he collects stuff like that. I'm not surprised. Hello, Crazy Mark. I'm not bad, thanks. I'm not bad. I won't be able to go through all your comments, guys, but David, ChatGPT et al. Are extremely useful for finding out which corporate companies that own high street companies. I'm not asking ChatGPT for uranium. One String Puppet. Do you have a Discord server, Ben? Sorry, I have to go now. Maybe I'll see you at the Earth Mysteries Crop Circle talk in a few weeks' time. I can't get to that One String Puppet, but I do have a Discord server. Yeah, you're welcome to join it. Oh, Blue Wool 3333 who is a good friend of mine. And you'll guess who it is when you read this. And yet the debris footage from the 1995 Santilli film, which is 10 times more impressive, has never been shown, yet it is said to be a prop. Check out the raised writing. It would cost a fortune to make. You're kind of persuading me here, I'm starting to wonder, I really, really am. I'm starting to wonder about the alien autopsy. I really am. I'm still not sure. But anyway, he said the drill. There's no drill marks on the pipe. He originally claimed that he didn't have the pipe, and then he said he did. And he says that the tapping sounds after his collapse were just recording sound effects on the phone. He just recorded some sound effects and played them on the phone. The fact that the light changes on, you see a few like blobs of light on the phone, on the camera. That is simply the phone. He moves it around a little bit. He was just lying there, so he said, trying not to breathe too loudly. And he used another phone with a lamp to create those effects. And he assumed that people would, when he stopped the live stream after 20 minutes, he assumed that people, it was actually about 40 minutes. He assumed that people thought, well, he just stopped because his phone battery died. He didn't even comment on the blue orb to begin with. Maybe he was trying to think of this very, very explanation. You see, why didn't he comment on it originally? This is why I'm questioning his confession. Later on, only later he said it was a torch with a magnet secured to the frame. He didn't say that originally. That's what he said beforehand. That's the strange thing. Why isn't James just a knobhead who's all over the place? Well, he seems to be just that, English TK. Rhiannon says, I'm back with breaded ham from the co-op on potato waffles. Lovely. Delicious. Anyway, now, so that I think is suspicious. And people ask him, why did you do it? And he says, I just want to see how gullible people are. It's a social experiment. It's also entertainment and fun for the viewers. He claims he did everything himself, even though he uses the pronoun we a few times. And when someone actually called him out on that, his caller said, well, it's just habit. It's a habit word. It's like the royal we, The crack on his windscreen was made accidentally by a friend of his, and he just decided to use it. He claims that the Boogosphere markings were also made with an angle grinder. That's why you can't get a complete curve on them. You just get like a series of lines, which they try to make look like a curve. I'm pretty. I'm sort of 75% sure the Boogosphere is fake myself. All the live streams are really live. He doesn't actually pre-record anything, so things could go wrong in them. That I believe. He says that this is just an art piece. He says it's basically a work of art, and he's done it because he feels. You see, he's given 4 or 5 different stories for his motivation for this particular hoax. He said, I did it to warn people how things can be faked. So this is kind of like James Randi. James Randi carried out these kind of sadistic tricks on people, such as the Carlos hoax and the Project Alpha hoax, which actually didn't work, despite what he says. He's planning to continue to create content, including more hoaxes, although how he'll get away with them now, I don't know. And he says he apologizes to the YouTubers who believed him, even though he just wanted to see how gullible people were. He said the people who were concerned, especially the people who were concerned, which includes me. I mean, when I saw him collapse, I was like, you could see I was visibly kind of mirroring it. I was feeling very, it really made me feel bad. He's worried about getting fired from his job, although I don't know if that's happened yet. He says several things. I mean, he speaks quite badly about himself. He said he does get super chats from people. I have not donated to him, I promise you. He doesn't ask people for money. He doesn't have a donation system. I've not given him any money. He compares himself to an actor, and he says, "Well, our movie's deceiving people." Well, Ghostwatch was to a point, wasn't it? Funnily enough, he says that the Mothman chasing him was real. He claims that the Mothman was real. After all this stuff that he hoaxed, he said, no, when I saw the Mothman, that was a real thing. He offered to take a polygraph test. Now, this will interest David Splendid Isolation. This will interest you. He has this idea that that David, I know, is interested in, which is the aliens aren't really aliens at all. They are essentially, it's to do with the Bible. They're the deceivers mentioned in the Bible. He believes that. He believes there will never be disclosure. There'll only be disclosure in the kind of like biblical apocalypse times. The alien deceivers, these deceivers are pretending to be aliens. Now, as you may know, I read a book by Father Spiridon Bailey, a Russian Orthodox priest, who actually says that too. He's written quite an interesting book about that. I don't personally think that's true. Well, it may account for some of the UFO sightings, but certainly not all of them. Someone asked him what his favorite conspiracy theory is, and he says, the moon landing hoax. After apologizing, funnily enough, he then says he doesn't feel guilty and any harm that happened came from ourselves for our belief, because we took him seriously. Even if we didn't completely believe him, we took him seriously enough to pay him attention. Even like One String Puppet said, he left open the option that it might be real, like I did. So why then he apologized? See, there's a lot of contradiction. Then he says something I think is a bit sinister. He says, I've only got 12 years left to live maximum, and my life is not important to me. So that's rather upsetting to hear him say that. It's clear that he may not be in the best mental state. There's also an incident. I won't actually show you this, but it's on one of his videos where he goes down to the basement, and there's a pistol lying on top of the ammo box. Hello, Steven Spielberg, Steven Seagull. A full day of using ChatGPT uses less legacy than a single shower. Oh, David says he has wonderful conversations with ChatGPT. I do. Lance Corporal is in my Discord. Yeah. Arts channel. Was it a hoax? Yes or no? I'm not sure. It may be. I'm afraid I'm going to have to say maybe. And I know in this world, there's everything is either yes or no. That's my problem with the backslappers that I was saying earlier. Not that you're a backslapper, but they were saying either you dismiss it immediately without even looking at it, or you are 100% sure it's real. And what's that Russian priest? Father Spiridon Bailey. He's written an interesting book, actually. I'll show it to you. I actually did a review of this for UFO Truth. Yeah, with this guy, Father Spiridon Bailey. He looks like a kind of priest, doesn't he? He looks like a kind of priest. He looks like I imagine a Russian Orthodox priest to look at. And here's his book about Where's his book about UFOs? UFO. Here we go. The UFO Deception. There you go. It's worth a read. An Orthodox Christian perspective. Yeah. That's him. When we didn't see him collapse, I was laughing at the poor sound effects. I didn't laugh. Well, you can see me reacting to it over the moon. I took it seriously enough to feel, oh my God, what's happened to him? I really did. English TK. He doesn't have a blue cardigan. Well, I can't be helped if he has no fashion sense. He's not a cardigan anyway. The buttons only go like that far up. David says, I quickly asked ChatGPT for that information, and it broke it all down for me instantly. Did it? What about Bailey or about the James? All right, we have here. Ask Ben directly. Is it a red card? Is it the red cardie or the blue cardie? That sounds like Rick Mail. Do I wear this cardie or that cardie? I've got literally nothing to wear. And David says, yeah, I'm generally on the same page as Spiridon Bailey, but that's because I'm a Bible-believing Christian who has studied the subject in depth and in abstract. Closest none. I'm aligned to Valet. Valet, yeah, his book makes a lot of sense. Passport to Magonia. I mean, I don't agree with every point you make, but I mean, there is a spiritual element to UFOs, definitely. There is definitely a spiritual element to them. We know that. I mean, other people have talked about that, Mary Rodwell, etc. But anyway, so there's this pistol lying on top. I won't show it to you, but there's a pistol lying on top of the ammunition box. He quickly gets out of the way and says, sorry, YouTube. And this is just after he's been talking about having 12 years left to live. His life's not important to him. I mean, he does weird things. That's disturbing. And the numbers on the wall of the cellar, I don't get. Why do you show us that? Why does he show us DJ B2? Oh, is the Hugo Boscardi as the thread count is better? It's the Hugo Boscardi just count Cardi. Just kidding. Oh, I could tell you all kinds of jokes about Hugo Boss. Like Russell Brand said, yes, we know their connection to a certain Central European nation from the mid-20th century, don't we? Archchan, are you competing with Andrew Johnson's fleece? No one can compete with my fleece. Everyone who does is a shell. All right, let's carry on. Okay, so on a cheerful note, he introduced us to his cat. He's got two cats, as you know, if you've been watching him regularly. The three-legged one is called Plum, and there's another one called Chumley. Now, we mentioned that he is a metal worker, and it's funny enough because someone, even from the very, very beginning, people spotted he had what looked like homemade rings on his fingers. And he also makes jewelry. So he can cut, he can weld, he can lathe, he can file, he can do all those things. And he makes, as you know, as we've explained, he makes swords and daggers. He has a professional page where he has like a CV video, things like that. And this is interesting. He claims he put things inside the object. He put things inside it so that if it was ever x-rayed by a serious ufologist, they'd find things inside it like they did the Boogosphere. And that he put some coils of copper wire, some engine oil and stuff like that. Some lubrication grease and stuff. Hello, Climate Goblin. I'm wearing my shitty blue fleece. How dare you! DJ. He can also make submachine guns. I mean, is he a gunsmith as well? No, that's a kind of a... Maybe that's why he had the pistol in the cellar. It may not have actually been... It's probably just lying around. It's probably not loaded. You know. Anyway, where am I now? So if Greer or my son ever get hold of this thing and they x-ray it, they would find it's something strange inside him. Because he wanted to carry on. He said he wanted to carry on until he got 50,000. So he actually got 20,000 subs. He claims that they believe they're not all believers, but he claims that he wanted to carry on until he got 50,000 subs, and then he'd probably confess. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, all I'm doing is I'm an example of Brandolini's law. I heard about this from Stephen Cambion. He's always gone on about it. It's also called the bullshit asymmetry principle. And it's coined by the 2013 Italian programmer Alberto Brandolini. And it compares the considerable effort of debunking misinformation to the relative ease of creating it in the first place. The adage states, the amount of energy needed to refute bullshit is an order of magnitude bigger than that needed to produce it. And of course, a lot of people are going to state that I'm actually an example of that, because he has created some misinformation, and refuting it is very difficult, especially when people like me just won't accept his refutation. I don't. This doesn't mean I completely... I accept that it could be real. He could be being honest. But I personally think we should question his confession and confessions like his. Because for the reasons I've explained earlier. So I don't apologize for asking these questions. I don't apologize. I don't accept his confession based on just willy-nilly like this. Just because he's made his confession doesn't mean it's real. I predicted this might happen, I think, at some point. I actually said, at some point, someone is going to come forward, or he's going to come forward, or someone's going to come forward and prove him wrong, or he's going to come forward and make a very elaborate confession, because basically the government caught up with him. They confiscated the object, which is a real ET artifact, and then they said, James, if you want to see the dawn, you're going to have to play ball with us, and you're going to have to put out a confession, and we'll help you. We'll get the props for you. We'll do everything you need, and we'll write you. We've already got this scenario which explains everything, and you just have to recite it. The problem is he didn't recite the script correctly, which is why there are many contradictions in his story. Arch Channel, is it a double bluff? Yeah, it's possible. David says, do you give a percentage on how likely you think this is real or fake? I previously gave it probably, I think I gave it 50%. I was 50-50. I now would say I'm about 20. I must say I'm about 80% sure the hoax is genuine. I'm about 80%, but there's that 20% doubt, I think, that this is the reason I made this video and why I think we should question that. It could turn out that it's actually his confession is fake. Definitely. Oh, Wow Signal says 0%. Right. Some people have made their minds up. Oriana says, I used to give dead flies funerals. Oh, that's really sweet. That's really sweet of you. I think it's lovely people who do that sort of thing. I really do. My ex-partner used to do that sort of thing. And I really admired that about her. Okay. I think that's everything on my notes. I'll just do a double check. I've got lots of notes this time. I'll tell you a whole list of them. Yeah, done those. So the nature of the confession. One-sided. Woos can confess. Symington did not confess. I said, things I said that they might make a fake confession. What's more, the backslappers actually predicted that people like me would say this. But that doesn't mean it's not true. It doesn't mean it's not true. Yeah, and the thing is, buying uranium off Amazon, I don't buy that at all. There's the fact that he pretended for a while that he didn't have the pipe anymore. Then he said, yes, I have it, and here it is, and it's different. I think it's slightly bigger. It's also not as shiny, like it's made from a different quality metal. It's quite burnished. He firstly apologized and then said, well, it's other people's fault if they believe me. So he contradicts himself there. He's given about 4 or 5 different stories for his motives. He wants to see how gullible people are. It's for entertainment, for fun. It's a social experiment. It's a work of art. It's a movie. It's a warning to show people how easily things can be faked, like a James Randi type Carlos hoax. It's certainly his motivation doesn't seem to be money. He's made very little money off this. He has super chats, but he only gets roughly the same number of views that I do. And he's probably get maybe a $5 a week off it, or $10 maybe. He's probably getting a few more views now. He's said some strange things, like he has these religious beliefs, which are quite unusual, and his general belief in UFOs are a part of that. He also said some things which I think are very disturbing, indicating he is suffering from morale problems, like his life's not important to him. He's got 12. He estimates he's got 12 more years to live. That's disturbing. He wants to carry on making content, and he's even planning new hoaxes. The Mothman chasing him was real. He's offered to take a polygraph test, but I mean, he could do. He could. I mean, if it'd be interesting to see what happens if he does that. So he says at one point he apologizes, then he says he doesn't feel guilty. Apparently, he's got a Wikipedia page. I've not found that myself. I don't know if anyone chat can find it for me. I'll be grateful. I'm not going to go searching for it now. It'd be too difficult to find. He has been doxxed. He gives some he's sometimes contradictory, and sometimes he doesn't talk about how he uses some of the effects, and then he does later. He explains how he did it, and for example, he wouldn't say to begin with how he did the blue sphere. He says, I can't talk about that. And people ask, did anyone help you with it? You keep saying we. And he says, no, it's just me on my own. Then he says he did it with a torch. They asked him about how he did the interference thing on the radio. I used a motor. I think I used a motor and turned it off and on. Doesn't he know? Doesn't he know? He gives contradictory statements about where he got the markings on the caps from. He talks about getting things from a scrap heap in Utah. I mean, that would be difficult to trace, wouldn't it? Because they're off-grid people. So, you can't really. There's not going to be a chain of custody for the metal pieces he used. You see him drilling into the pipe, and he's doing it for a few seconds before he collapsed. Yet there's no mark on the pipe. At first, he claimed he didn't make it. Then he says he claims he dulled the drill bit deliberately to prevent it from actually making a mark. I mean, I don't get that. Somebody claiming that it would actually cost a lot to make this particular artifact. So I'm not convinced by this. I think some of you are. I think what's that noise? Oh, okay. Hello, we got here 7762. Let's go with James Piper's fake and explain how he created the pipe with complex markings on it. Again, he's provided he's given a couple of contradictory statements there. About firstly, he said he couldn't show you the pipe to begin with. He said I haven't got it anymore. I think possibly he didn't have a pipe. He needed to get one from the CIA. Wayne Model Builder, hello, how are you? I believe in all this stuff, and I've seen things for myself. But if you recall, I call bullshit from day one. I have a sixth sense for fake liars. Well, again, if you turns out you were right, well, sometimes you are right. But I mean, I could say I called it this A, B, and C, and it turned out to be the case. If I put a bet on a horse and the horse wins, it's not a sixth sense. You're just lucky. Maybe you just sensed it intuitively. I personally, my own intuition was more divided. It was more equivocal. I wasn't certain. Nothing seems mentions the thunderstorm generator. I've done an entire video on that. I actually saw a. I saw a. If you remember, I saw Randall Castle live, didn't I? Arch Channel. Why has the object not been confiscated by the military? Well, maybe it has. Maybe that's not the object. It looks different in some ways from the original object. Leon says, of course, there's uranium in some glass made in the 1950s. It's actually called uranium glass and glows in the dark, and they made vases and things like that out of it. It's a strange shade of green. Oh, my God. What does it do for the life expectancy of the people who use it? All right, guys. So that's it, really. I mean, I don't think could we add anything else? I've been through all my notes, but I'm now not entirely convinced by this confession. It may be true. It may be. I'm not. Some people are now. Of course, the backsnapper is going to say exactly the same as they did before. They're going to say. They're just going to say, well, Ben, you're now still. Why are you still 100% convinced this is real when James has confessed, and you're still 100% that his confession is sure? Again, no nuance, it's polarization. Oh, Arch Channels asks, what about 3i Atlas? Will you do a live stream on the 19th of December? You bet. As Perigi. Let's have a look. There's some new 3i Atlas videos actually. There's a really good one. I'm going to see the latest from from On the Pulse with Silky. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Here. Oh, let's have a look. She's just uploaded a new one. Oh, Silky's. She's hot, man. She's really hot.
Gemini and Gmail can
That's
help
not
you
Silky.
summarize long threads and suggest brilliant replies faster than it took.
NASA has released the high-rise images with a little bit.
She really is the thinking man's. She's the thinking man's supermodel. This lady.
Not so good press conference, but something's visible on these images.
Oh, the lines go in the wrong direction. Strange glowing plume like headlights. I have to watch the rest of this later. I haven't checked out the latest from Avi, actually. What's his latest article? You see that? There we go. Oh, what's this? An extraterrestrial wager. Whoa, oh, blimey, it's got an alien on it. I've read these other ones. An extraterrestrial wager. Oh, yeah, he's got a bet on with Sherma, hasn't he? I'll read that later. Anyway, guys. Any more questions or comments, guys? I think we've kind of... Oh, thanks, English TK. Much appreciated. You like this. Thank you. Oh, Hachi says, my dog's eyes turn green at night with a flashlight on him. Proper instinctive alien. Yeah. What's it? Mayor, can you haver her, Ben? What's that? What's haver mean? It's from that bloody song, isn't it? By the Proclaimers. When I haver, I want no one gonna. It's something Scottish. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. I mean, there's a lot of things I'd like to do with her. There's a lot of things I like to do with Silky. Yeah. She lives in Canada, but I think she's from Switzerland. But the way she says Cormit. Why would Battlestar Galactica need headlights, says David? I don't think it needs headlights. It needs a new script, new production design, new actors, everything, basically, because it's shit. Oh, right. You can have her, Ben, says Nihilist Lives Matter. Oh, don't you like her? Oh, man, I do. Borida boyo. Benaldar, I think, and Nostar now. Oh, have her. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Talk about David Grush now. Oh my God. I started watching The Age of Disclosure, and we're going to do the review. Hachi. I still think crop circles are not to do with us humans, Ben. Not all of them are. No, not all of them are. InsureTech says, looks a bit like Jacinta Ardern. You must be joking. Jacinta Ardern looks like an anorexic horse. There we go. Tahiva. Come on. Where is it now? In Scottish parlance, we used to talk nonsense and ramble and speak foolishly. All right, I'll remember that next time I hear that song. I have Age of Disclosure to watch too. Yeah, I'm going to do a full review of it. And if you remember, we're doing a watch party. So sometime in the next few days, I'll give you a full review. 77762. Ben, a bit premature, but will you be doing a Hapanmo Christmas show? I don't know. I'm going to do a 19th of December. I'm doing a Hapanmo Radio Christmas show. So that is coming up on Hapanmo Radio. I'm actually going to be away for the New Year period because I'm doing a residential house sitting job. Just residential security and care and things like that. So I'm going to be away from sort of late December to early January just for about a week. But I will, on the 19th of December, of course, it's Perihelion Day. I'll do a video about that. I'm also interested in how I think it appears that 3i Atlas appears to be heading. There's more evidence it's heading for Jupiter. Bouncing horse-faced killer. Oh, dear. We're going to build back beta. Build back beta. We want to create a two-tier society. Yes. Yeah, oh God, she's horrible. She's absolutely horrible. Yeah. Nihilist says, I have to post everything twice. Getting very annoying. No, I'm sorry about that. I don't know why that is, because I'm not deleting anything. I can't literally, I don't know why that is. I'm sorry. It's nothing to do with, it's not anything I'm doing. What's the purple crown at the top of the chat about? I think it's something to do with one of you gets crowned king in the post-Illuminati world. I think that's what it's about. When the lizards have finally left this planet. I think that's what it means. David has put a delta symbol. It's a delta. I don't know what it means. That's a good point. I've actually shut the page. I've shut the player page, but I don't know what it means. Let's I'll probably find it on another one. I'll watch Silky later. I try to watch Silky as much as possible. I love the way she says, "Cool mate, cool mate." Where are we now? Let's have a look. Vetted. Oh, he's covered James. Let's have a look. Here we go. He did a live stream about James, and he's really angry.
Bonus drop boost. Now free to.
He's really angry about James, and he says he's like calling him names and everything.
Complete BS. And the amount of hate that I got was insurmountable.
See, all right, James, I must admit, like what James is saying is that the equivalent of backslapper behavior can be found from both sides. There are people who may agree with me more about James that are equally intolerant. And I'm sorry that happened to Patrick, because Patrick doesn't deserve it. I like him. He's cool. I met Patrick. I mean, he appears in my video in Ben in the Desert too.
I got death threats, y'all. Literal death threats because I didn't believe the guy. And those are real sounds that people make when they die, Patrick. You know?
I mean, somebody said that to me. Oh, can you hear his death rattle in the way he's breathing? I just heard a strange tapping sound, which James then said was something he recorded on his phone. But I mean, I really, if you sent Patrick death threats, then shame on you. Honestly, that's disgraceful. That's disgraceful.
And I was called a fool. I was called every name you can think of. I can only think of a couple other times running Vetted that something like this has happened to me, where just an exorbitant amount of hate comes my way. This was one of them. Literally, I can count on one hand how many times that happened. And I make daily videos for the last 2 years about UFOs. But the amount of hate that came my way, that I didn't know what I was talking about. I was stupid. I'm an idiot. I'm going to regret what I said, because when we find out he did pass away, Patrick, you're going to feel so...
He obviously did pass away. That is James. But he did collapse. I mean, it's possible he did collapse, and that's real, and everything like that. So no one should be attacking Patrick like this. No one should be attacking the people who believe it's a hoax. No one should be attacking James either. I mean, obviously, if he's committed a hoax here, he's done our community and our mission a great disservice. But then, it doesn't mean we have the right to break the law.
Horrible that you said this about this man. You're so certain. Well, guess what? Guess what? Your boy was right.
Well,
I'm not here to gloat. Not here to tell you I told you so. I'm actually here to help console some people that believed it and felt,
because James, James has accepted. He's accepted James's confession at face value. Yeah. Oh, this here. 7762. Will you be doing a video for the base's Christmas seminars? Yes, I will. I'm going to that. I'm actually the floor manager, so I've got to help set everything up. Too much hair product in a James is a red flag. I thought Patrick's hair is pretty cool. It looks like Dom Jolly. It sounded like he was having a ham shank. Oh, it's does anyone have anything more to add? Because I think that covers everything. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to I've got 2 other videos. I've got the Lapis one. I've got another one. I wanted to do about 3-Eye Atlas. But I've had a bit of a family issue to deal with. All right. I mean, these things do happen. Sweeps Fox is not here tonight because he's got a bit of a family problem to deal with. And I've had something like that, which I've kind of brushed off, but it's maybe I should take some time out and just think about it for a while. I might even do a video about it just to explain what's going on in case any of you are wondering. But because if I do that, then you'll know if I behave a certain way. But Arts Channel, will we have disclosure in 2026? Of course we will. I don't know, actually. I don't know. Absolutely, Boyor. Cheers. Have a good night. You too, Wow Signal. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Wow Signal. James looks like Brian Laundrie. Google him. All right, then. I think he looks like the guy in Eraserhead. That's really weird hair. It's really big hair he's got. The guy who's in Laundry. Hang on. Oh, he does a bit, yeah. He does slightly. But he doesn't But without the hair, yeah, without the hair. Oh, 7762. Hope things work out, Ben. Things work out okay, Ben, regarding your family. Thank you very much. Leon says, take your time, Ben. Thanks very much. I was thinking of maybe not doing a Hapamo show this week because I just feel exhausted. I had real post-conference blues this morning. I always get them. It's worn off now. They always wear off by the afternoon. But I felt bloody. I'm having to go back to work again after just getting back from the conference was always a bit of a pain in the ass. Eraserhead, good movie. Yeah, that was David Lynch's first ever movie. Yeah. But thanks, 77762. Much appreciated. Yeah, most of the men in ufology are bald. I'm in good company then. A great gathering in Glastonbury. I never got the chance to go to Glastonbury this year. I mean, the Crafty Nihilist went. I'll tell you what's happening next year. There's another big protest against digital ID, which I will not miss. I will not miss that. Anyway, I think that's everything. Can anyone else think of anything I want to say? You're welcome, Corsitis. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Does anyone want to add anything? Let me know if you do. Because I think we've covered everything. Now, I'm not going to come back. I won't come back to James and the pipe again unless there's a reason to, unless there's good reason to. I personally don't think... I personally don't think there's any reason now. I think it's... At the moment, things are just going to stay as they are, I expect. If the CIA have the artifact, then so be it. It's not going to be easy to get it back. But anyway, I want to say a big thank you to everyone. DJ B2, Rhiannon Raven, Corsitis, 77762, Stephen Siegel, Wow Signal, Insure Tech, Arts Channel, Corsitis, I said DJ B2. Phuket is here. David Splendid Isolation. Hi Phuket, how you doing? Sorenable is up there somewhere. As is Neil Peel, the Paranormal Peep Show. Nothing as it seems. The Welsh Ripper. Nihilist Lives Matter. Who else? Have I missed anyone out? Hatchie's there. English TK. I will do a Hapamo show on Thursday, but it'll probably be like a night English TK. You too, have a good one. Nighty night, Rhiannon. Have a nice sleep tonight. Yeah, you too. I'm going to see if I can watch the rest of the Age of Disclosure. I've nearly finished it before I go to bed. Yes, and I'll be ready. Then I can start reading the reviews and things like that tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I think that covers it. I think that covers everything. I'm still willing to talk to James. I've emailed him a couple of times, and if he's done interviews with some people, I'll do an interview with him. I mean, I will stay from the start. I question his confession, but I'm not going to be nasty to him. You're welcome, 77762. You're welcome, very welcome, and sweet dreams, Stephen Siegel. And night, all of you. English Thomas Cannon. That's your name. Right you are, mate. Right you are. That's a good name. Sweet dreams. All right, so I'll just play you out with the music. So yeah, here we go. Thank you very much, everyone, and good night.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy here. I hope you enjoyed the latest film.
Conspiracies, government cover-ups, Earth mysteries, monster cryptids, cyber saucers, and black triangles, up and woe. Black goo in Antarctica, lizard kings from the seventh star, men in black and Queen Boudica, up and woe. Black goo in Antarctica, Keplers from the seventh star, men in black and Queen Boudica, up and woe. Welcome to the Hop and Woe Show. Once I was alone, I was petrified, thinking I could be abducted when the bins went out. And so I spent so many nights thinking about the gray that might be there. But I grew strong, and now I really couldn't care. Save me from the aliens, save me from the government, save me from the men in black who call. Save me from the skeptics, save me from the watchers. Justice must be done for Richard D. Hall. No more psyop whitewashes. No more left in fear. How long till disclosure comes? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Is it really getting near? Or are we always gonna wonder? Are we never gonna know? Is it just a way to control us created oh so many years ago? Save me from the sheeple, save me from the liars. Open up your eyes and see their false flag planned attacks. Save me from the grifters, save me from the spiteful mutant hacks. Our fear is their power, our obedience the same. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Make quiet acts of integrity always be your aim. Speak truth to power, always be the keeper of the flame.